Hi, my name is Patricia Ruiz. I'm a bilingual speech language pathologist, and today I'm making a really quick video to teach you how to teach your 1-year-old their first words. So when we talk about 1-year-olds, we are kind of expecting to hear at least one word, right? Usually that word is mama, or sometimes it's dada. So we kind of expect to see the first word emerge by the time they're 12 months, maybe 12 to 15 months. Some babies are early and they do it at 10 months, but somewhere around the 12-month mark is when we're expecting to hear the first word, right? How can you stimulate your baby to start making these sounds to be able to produce a word by the time they're 12 months? So today I brought with me a few little toys that I've used in the past to help my toddlers start talking, and I've used with many other patients in the past. And I can say from experience that the best thing to do is always animal sounds. Animal sounds are always my favorite, my go-to, because they're the easiest sounds to make, and sounds do count as first words. So if your baby says moo and they ask you, oh, does your baby say any words? You could say, yes, he says moo. Moo does count. Environmental noises do count as words. They're not true words, but for a 12-month-old, we consider that a word. So I always like to have little farm animals at hand, and we want anything that's like small, that the child can touch, that it doesn't break, that they can, throw, they can play. So I have 3 little animals with me today, and I don't usually teach all the animals at the same time. If you've seen any of my other videos, you see I always try to pick 3 things, 3 verbs, 3 words, 3 animals, and I start with these 3 things until they master it, and then we move on to another one. So for this case today, I brought the sheep, and I really like the sheep because the sheep noise is ba. And ba is a very simple combination of sounds to make, because B is one of the first sounds that a baby starts saying. When they start babbling, they start ba, 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 ba. So B is very simple, and A is very simple as well. It's the simplest vowel to make. So ba for sheep is one of the first ones you can try teaching your 1-year-old if you want to stimulate them to start talking. I would definitely pick a sheep. A sheep is the way to go. And you would start by, making the noise over and over and over again, and then waiting to see if your child starts to imitate it, right? I would do ba, and I would do these animals 10 minutes every single day for a few weeks, and you'll see how quickly your child, your 12-month-old will catch on. I also brought a horse because, neigh is actually a simple kind of sound to make as well. Obviously, it might be a little bit complex if you're expecting it to be exact, like neigh, but neigh is also pretty simple, pretty basic for a baby to start imitating. I brought the pig today, but the pig is definitely not one I would do because oink oink could be a little bit difficult. It's a lot harder to put vowels together, to put the K at the end. So I wouldn't definitely go for the pig. I mean, you can try, but it definitely wouldn't be my first pick. My first picks would be the sheep, the cow, and if you have a dog, you could do a dog. The horse works too. I would stay away from the pig. The pig is a little bit harder to make. So what's the point of these toys and these animals? The point is that I want you to start teaching your baby environmental noises, and noises are animal noises, and they're also environmental noises. For example, I brought a car today, so if you were to say broom broom, broom broom would work as well too, because you'd be able to make a noise and your child would be able to imitate. We don't want them to say car, but if they say broom broom, that would definitely count. And this car, for example, any cause and effect toy, if you push down, it goes. So doing go actually can stimulate your child to start talking as well. A lot of childs, they're going to be entertained and they're going to be stimulated because they press and something happens. So it's going to make them interested in actually trying to make a noise for the car to go. So go, so you would say, let's push 4, and then you want your baby to say go. So any toy that you could push and something happens, we call these kind of toys cause and effect toys. Any toy that they can do that would definitely kind of spark your baby to try to say the words, because it's going to realize that if it says the word or any word or makes any sound, the toy is going to move. And that's what we want. We want cause and effect toys. So there's also, you know, the balls that you drop, you know, 1, 2, 3, go, and you drop a ball and it travels. Any of those toys that something happens when you push it or drop a toy in it is definitely a toy you should get if you have a 1-month-old and you want to stimulate your baby to start talking. Another good thing that I have used, believe it or not, and you'll see because it's a little bit banged up, is this first word book. This first word book, let's put it like this, works awesome because first of all, it only has 4 pictures. So that is really good. There's also some, and there's flashcards that only have 1 picture. You could start off with those, but if not, you could use this book, right? Because it's not overwhelming. It doesn't have 1,000 pictures in 1 page, and that's what you want to stay away from. You want to do something really basic. So you'd be able to do 1 page, and in this page, for example, I would definitely only focus on the ball and the chicken. I would not focus on the rest, since these words are difficult to make, rabbit, buttons, and I would only pick 1 page at a time, right, and focus on that. On the second page, you see they're all transportation, things that go, so they make noise. So instead of saying car, I would say brum brum. You know, for the trucks, I would say beep. For the ambulance, woo woo woo. So try to attach the sound to the word and not say the word, because what we want is for your baby to start talking. We want them to start making sounds. So how do we get them to talk? We have to start by the basics. What's the basics? It's making the noises, right? So we want them to start imitating noises, any noise, animal noise, environmental noise, car noise, beep beep, shush shush. The wheels on the bus is also good, you know, because they get to imitate the they get to imitate the cry. They get to imitate various noises that we want. So little books like this that are very simple is a go. These little toys that are animals that you can play is also a good pick. And just regular toys by themselves, like, you know, if you wanted to do cup, right? And you want to use things that are common, things that are around the house, anything, any of their actual toys would actually make it better. So you'd be like, we're drinking. You're not expecting your 12-month-old to say drinking, but if they go, you're doing good. That means that they're imitating you, and that's what we want. We want to see your 12-month-old start to imitate, because imitation has a lot to do with talking. If you can imitate a noise, then you can definitely imitate a word. You can imitate a word, you can imitate more words, and you can definitely start talking. So the first goal for your 12-month-old should be imitating. And what do we want to imitate? We want to imitate sounds, noises. Let's pretend that, for example, your baby doesn't imitate any of the noises and you've tried and it just doesn't work. So we're going to have to go back a step. What step is that? We want your child to imitate movements. So if they don't imitate any of the noises, that means they're not ready. What do we need to do? We need to make them ready. And to make them ready, you have to start with them imitating movement. So if, for example, I would say like peekaboo. Does your child imitate peekaboo? Can they actually imitate what you're doing? If you're like, I touch my nose, can they touch their nose? If you raise your hand, can they copy you? So once your child can copy you and can imitate your body movements, then we're ready to imitate noises. And once they master imitating noises, then we're ready to start imitating words. And at that point, then we can start adding more language to their vocabulary skills, right? Then we can start adding. But definitely, I would not start with words. If your baby does not say anything at all at this time, I would start with noises. And if you've been trying a few times, like I said, every day, 15 minutes, just a little bit, they're small. They don't need to be, sitting down for such long periods of time. Just while they play, you show them, and they're going to watch, and eventually they're going to imitate. If you feel like you've been doing it for a little bit already and it's not working, then go backwards and start trying to see if they imitate hand movements. Can they clap? If you clap, do they clap? Can they wave? Waving is also a skill that we look for at a 12-month-old. We want to see that your child can say, not say hi, but actually wave, right? Can they clap? So we look for these skills because we want to know, can they imitate body movements? And if they can, then we're going to move on to imitating noises. And if they can, then we move on to words. So this video was really quick, really short. I actually had these toys on my desk, and I have gotten a few questions about what to do with a 1-year-old, and this is what I definitely would do to stimulate their language skills so they could be developmentally appropriate, as time goes by. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on Instagram and other social media platforms that I've been putting up a lot of content lately. So let me know what you thought and leave your comments below. Thank you.